Mawump.
I'm Alpha Zion, and this is Vertical Slice. Let's see what E3 delivered to us this year. As of time of writing, Microsoft unveiled Project Natal.
Like we've seen in this championship. She sets it up.
A full-body motion capture system that aims to turn us into the controller. Not sure how he's supposed to play the more complex games with it though. Doing flips on that skating game is going to be a total bitch. And while some games are well suited to Natal, British developer Peter Molyneux presented the latest work at Lionhead Studios and gives us a glimpse at the possibilities.
Filmmakers, they haven't imagined what we're able to do today. We've been experimenting with something here. I'd like you to meet a boy called Milo. He's a character that can recognize us, he can recognize our faces, he can recognize our...
Titled Milo, he uses facial recognition to determine our emotions, recognises our voice, and attempts to interact with us on a level beyond the skippable reams of text or the agonising cutscenes we're accustomed to.
Nervous? I don't believe it.
This is the first time that thousands of people are going to see this.
It's only a tech demo rather than a game itself, which poses an interesting question. Could this tech be the killer bit of middleware to really push the limits of gaming? Or will it repulse us with shivers of Uncanny Valley? Then there are the obvious uses. It could deliver an Air Sex Tournament tie-in game. Dry Hump Hero! Harmonix, I know you can't turn down a good franchise suggestion. We also saw 360 movie rentals without needing a PC, streaming Sky TV for us Brits, since Netflix still isn't available to us, and full game downloads. Gonna need a bigger hard drive, I think. Oh, and they're jumping on the Twitter bandwagon. A little bit more surprising, however, a sequel to last year's Zombie Fun Fest Left 4 Dead turned up. This time they're eschewing the single movie theme of each campaign for an extended storyline covering 5 campaigns set in the south of the US, 4 new protagonists, and a slew of new and changed special infected, such as Chargers and Wandering Witches. And speaking of mindlessness, amongst the EA sequel announcements was the Girls Division, with effectively their signature Wii title, Hair Twirling 2009 or something. Why is it that the concept of girl gaming seems to inevitably focus on Marshmallow Pink and stereotypical activities that feel like they're taken straight out of the 50s? Is there some rule that you can't have something like an RPG with game mechanics that appeal to both girls and boys? Isn't it a little demeaning and condescending that titles aimed at girls end up as nothing more than domestic chores and personal prettification simulators, especially in a post-feminism world? And speaking of prettification, dubbed the worst kept secret of this year's E3, Sony confirmed the leaks by unveiling a big redesign for the PSP, dubbing it PSP Go, sporting 16 gigs of storage, a slide-out controller section, and minus the UMD drive, which links it solidly to the also announced PSN changes to bring it into competition with Microsoft's offerings. It also comes with a hefty €250 price tag. Again, €1 equals $1. Sony also unveiled a few other items, such as Mod Nation Racing by United Front Games, bringing Little Big Planet style content creation to a Mario Kart-like racing game, and expected titles like Improbable Jawline Man 3, God of War 3, and yet another Metal Gear Solid, featuring what almost looked like surprise box sex at the end of their trailer. And some Wii Motion Plus beating motion controllers. And speaking of Nintendo, all-round consensus of their keynote? Highlights were limited to a sedately received Mario Galaxy 2 and Metroid Other M. Judging by the savaging they got on Twitter, this was a very subpar keynote by them. And we couldn't finish without mentioning there's a new Monkey Island. To quote the response of a fellow old-school gamer, let's just hope they don't screw it up. And sorry if we missed off anything you thought was more important, but there was so much in the way of news that we just couldn't cram it all in. Besides, I need to get my hips in shape for those future Natal-based games.